Yeah, the way you said it, probably like it was very like cocky, like you said.
And so unprompted. I'm like, what was he?
Yeah,
Like, was he
so,
thinking the whole time that he's running, he's beating everybody? Like, man, I can't wait to finish this race so that I can go talk about the NBA on Twitter. What's going on, y'all? I'm Jericho. This is Zap, and we are the now 6-time international award-winning pop hip hop group band of future. We make music that's clean and fun. Why did I ever mess that part up? Fun, clean music that everyone can listen to with a sound that's uniquely Californian. And you are now, right now, tuned in, toned in, all the T's to the Life's a Circus podcast, where we talk about things that are funny, interesting, and just straight up ridiculous. So before we get started, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share this video with at least 2 people that think that the winners of the sports championships in America should be called world champions. Because here's what just happened. So Noah Lyles is a track star. He won the world championships a couple days ago. He won the 100 and the 200. He did the double, just like Usain Bolt. And he's pretty good, right? He's also a cocky SOB, and everyone likes that. In fact, no, that's the real. Usain Bolt actually told him, like, yo, be you, do you, whatever. So apparently that means going on Twitter and trashing the NBA, because what he said was, in so many words, how dare you guys call yourself the world champions when you only playing the people in the USA. Now, apparently, he doesn't know that the last 3 MVPs of the NBA were from overseas, but I digress. He went on it for a while, and then they kind of clapped back at him. Kevin Durant clapped back at him, whatever, and people are calling him like ignorant on social media. I think I get the point he was trying to make. I've thought that for a long time. Like, how can we get to call ourselves world champions when we weren't playing the world? Like the teams from the world, maybe some players from the world. But as far as the NBA goes, I believe there's 40 countries represented in the NBA, all 6 continents, not counting Antarctica. And, so I think that, the NBA itself is a pretty international league. However, we do have stuff like the NFL, and we don't really play anybody else in that. It's not really a sport that's played outside of the U.S., and we do call ourselves world champions. Ooh, baby.
I don't know what that is.
Hey.
I do know what that is, but
somebody calling.
Yeah.
But basically, my position is that I do think we should put qualifiers on certain things. Like you're the world champion. Well, okay, you got to play the world. Otherwise, you got to give yourself a different title. And that's my stance on it. But for the NBA, I think it's applicable to say world champion because they do play the world. So that I think Noah Lyles has a point. I just think him specifically calling out the NBA was the wrong way to make his point.
Yeah, that was because I saw that story, and that was my first reaction. Like, why did he call out the NBA specifically? Because he's not a basketball player, or he's like strictly track, or does he have a basketball?
What I know, yeah, this track.
So I don't know. Maybe they run in like different circles or something. No pun intended. But or the same circles. But
he's more of a straight line kind of runner. But
yeah,
he don't make it all the way around. He just goes halfway and stops.
But don't take my word for it.
I mean,
you know what? I'm with you. I've always thought that like world champions NBA or like even in baseball, like the World Series. And you call yourself the world champions, and it's just like it just happened. That's just such a United States thing to do. First of all,
yes,
it's like we won over here, so that means we won everywhere. Yay!
Right.
So I totally get it. It's just like, and I don't like the way he said it, but I kind of agree. Like, even though people play here from overseas, it's not the FIBA World Cup that's happening right now.
Right.
Whereas like literally, teams from other countries are competing against each other instead of one country just picking people from all over the world. Typically the best people in the world, but still it's It's the National Basketball Association.
Exactly.
So
It
that's
ain't international.
yeah. So that's just a U.S. thing. Even though it's a global brand, um, I wouldn't call it a world championship. I don't really see too much wrong with what he said. Maybe the delivery was kind of rub people the wrong way, but
That's because
he's right.
America's the greatest, man. You can't have question America's the greatest. It's America.
The greatest.
It got me thinking though. I was like, so I do remember growing up and I took Taekwondo and my teacher.
Taekwondo.
Is that how you say it?
No, that was just what was in my heart right then when you said Taekwondo.
I like it. And he was Master Zhang, RIP Master Zhang. He was a good guy. And he was a world champion. And then I was like, wait, world champion of what? Because if you think about it, that thing is said in a lot of sports with the world champion of boxing, whatever. And I'm like, okay, so what point does saying world champion actually apply? In soccer, I say, yeah, like every country is competing, whatever. But he was the world champion in some tournament. I specifically remember watching the video. Some poor dude he had to face who was like 30 years younger than him and just had no experience. He just basically front kicked this guy's teeth out, literally. And then they gave him like the title, but he was in some little like part of Thailand or something like that, like obscure. And they crowned him the world champion. So it's like he didn't compete against everybody. I'm thinking like for fighting, you got to do some like Street Fighter type stuff where like you go and Honda's fighting Guile and then you go to Ryu. Like, if it's not a tournament like that, I don't think you get the chance. You should call yourself that, even though I guess it sounds good. Maybe that's why people say it so much, but I think it should have qualifiers. Like if you are the world champion, you got to basically say, this is what I'm the world champion for. Like I earned my world champion status. Otherwise, you just you're telling a little white lie. That's what I would say.
I don't know why I thought about this, but like I feel like not every, but I don't know, maybe things have changed. People are more into video games and stuff now. But like when I was growing up, like everybody wanted to do karate or like taekwondo or just like at least every boy. They wanted to do some version of that. And I remember taking karate and like it's like terrible karate class. And the guy's name was Mr. Person. Like that was his real name.
That's what?
His last name was Person, so we had to call him Mr. Person. And it wasn't like master or sensei or like whatever. It was just this tall black dude named Mr. Person.
That's interesting.
And he taught us karate, but like I mean, I was little, so I don't remember. The only thing I remember is just like getting cookies and orange juice like at the end of it. And
that doesn't sound like karate to me, man.
I don't remember the karate part. So
that sounds like cookies and juice condo. Like, it's not karate, man.
Yeah, I think it was borderline babysitting or something because
sure.
Yeah,
makes sense.
I would never become a master in that class.
I got you. But the I guess I'm thinking to make something worlds like a official world thing. There should be like the Olympics have the committee, right? And it's like a world panel. So the way to I guess officially make something a world renowned thing where you can literally say I'm the champion of the world, it should have something like that governs, like a governing body that says you followed all these parameters, you won, you smashed, you're the world champion. Because if you don't go through all that, how else are you going to verify? I just hear about, I actually read that there's like 23 different world championships for track and field, like competitions. And if you win any one of those, you're the world champion. But it's like, okay, so then what? I want the truth, man. That's all I'm saying. I want the truth, and I want people to be like, I won the world championship, and it's because I beat literally the world. So to Noah Lyles' point, if you don't do that, I think you should find another thing to call yourself. Just a champion. You're just good, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I same thing. I don't disagree with him.
But it's the way he said it, though.
Yeah, the way he said it, probably like it was very like cocky, like you said.
and so unprompted. I'm like, what was he? Was he thinking?
Yeah,
Was he thinking the whole time that he's running? He's beating everybody. Like, man, I can't wait to finish this race so that I can go talk about the NBA on Twitter. It's like on an interview.
Yeah, I like how like one of the first people to come back at him was Kevin Durant. Who's like notorious for like clapping back at people, like anybody.
Yeah,
It's been a while since
yeah. He had a point though. But I feel like Kevin Durant's got like the fast pass of Twitter. Like, you know, anyone tweets, he gets it before anybody else does. It's like, oh heck no, I gotta get this first. So Easy Sniper, our shout out to Easy Sniper, Kevin Durant. I hope y'all do good this year, but not better than the Lakers. Okay. Well, I think that's been it for this episode of the Lives of Circus podcast. So make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share, and then comment what you think about this world championship thing. Should the champions that are just of the U.S. National leagues or of any other league in the world be considered world champions, and what would make them the world champions? Do you think you're the world champion? What have you won the world champion of? We want to know. Maybe you're the world champion of crayon eating. I don't know. Maybe there's a thing.
That sounds dangerous.
There is a world championship for like air guitar. All these things. So like you can be the world. Yeah, you can be the world champion of anything. So
yeah.
If that's your dream, go for it. But yes, this has been Banded Future, and we are very official. So we'll see you in the next episode. Bow, 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 bow,
unless they take our jobs, unless they take it.
They took our jobs. They took our jobs. They took our jobs.